I'm going to max out all of these possible modifiers in BT6 and we're gonna try and beat 100 rounds with this thing. So bloom speed, completely max, mod speed, these guys are gonna be flying through. I mean, when a red balloon comes out, we're not even gonna be able to see it, and let alone, who knows what's gonna be happening later on. But on top of that, the ceramic, the Moab health, everything is maxed out. So these guys are probably gonna need to get one shot or something like that. Rewrite maxed out, and then we cannot rely on abilities. So yeah, let's see how we can do this thing. I do want to mention though, I'm playing on medium standard just because I think that we're going to need monkey knowledge for sure. But this is exactly the reason why I wanted to play on medium mode and basically in a game mode that allows monkey knowledge in general, which is that we are going to need to make some sacrifices in the early game so that we can get some farms going and just get ready for this game mode, because this is insane. Honestly, I mean, it's round 8 and we're already leaking. The mana shield is gone, the road spikes are gone, which means that I'm just straight up going to go for a druid, and this is going to be a millipede druid, which is very nice because it's going to have the heart evoking to the druid of the jungle upgrade, so it's going to remove the regrow, which means that the 1,500 regrow rate is kind of going to get dealt with in a way. We also have a Zealy for it, but the Zealy is not as consistent because it's an ability and we cannot rely on abilities at all in this run. I wanted to watch these two rounds, 14 and 15, so this one is going to have yellows, which this is normal speed, by the way. As you guys can see at the bottom right, I don't even have fast forward on, and that was just yellow balloons. So let's see how the pink ones are going to look like. I'm going to have fast forward on for these pink balloons. No, these guys are way too fast, and it's also leaking. Yeah, that's way too many lives. We need to get this thing as soon as possible, the Druid of the Jungle, and also I think that we should be very careful with the lives because we just want to have some lives saved for a rainy day, right? And so let's just not be wasting our lives for nothing. Okay, so now that we've stabilized a little bit into the early game, I want to tell you guys about what the plan is for today. So we need to be one-shotting all of these guys, or at least doing a lot of damage to them if we're playing a popping game. So the Moab class balloons, if they're going to be super fast, and they probably need to get one shot, but the problem is that the usual one shots, like for example the Monkey Pirate's ability, the Buccaneer's ability, that's not going to work because we're at 500% cooldowns. And I think that for round 40 we're going to have to buy the Monkey Pirate's ability, but for the other ones we might get away with some other stuff. Okay, so let's actually do this. I think that a ninja is going to be a nice choice, at least for these early rounds, right? These early camera rounds, maybe up until 42, because it has seeking projectiles. These guys cannot miss. So the second that we get the double shot the Caltrops, I think we're going to be fine. So let's just do that for a second. And then I also think that we need to be getting the Monkey Pirate as soon as possible. I mentioned that the abilities are not going to be good because it's at 500%. But the thing with the abilities is that if we want to use the Monkey Pirates now, on round 40, we have to buy it now because it's going to start on cooldown. I don't know how the money is going, honestly, but if we can manage to buy it on like the next round, is that too ambitious? Round 37 to buy it? I know, I think that's probably our last round, honestly. I think if we buy the 38, it's not going to come off on time. Okay, so the money for the monkey parts is not looking good, so I'm just going to sell one of these farms. I'm going to buy it right now. I also think I should buy the faster shooting into a double shot. This thing is not going to have any camo, but I feel like we're going to be getting a village in a second anyways. So the idea that I had for the other Moab class balloons was to get a beast handler, and if you merge up the shark up to max power, it's going to just keep dragging Moab class balloons, which is very nice, because it is not an ability. So I think that that's one of the ways that we can deal with the small mobs. Maybe we get the Orca eventually, maybe we don't. But the tower that we are looking for and the game-winning tower for this run is absolutely going to be... Let me just buy one more marketplace, I guess. But yeah, the absolute game-winning tower for this run is going to be the Icicle Impale, which is a cheap tower. It's going to keep everything in place. It does a decent amount of damage, and I think that that is the way to go. That's the one that we need to look out for. And let's see how fast the Moab is going to be. So buying the Moab... Look at this thing. This thing is just flying through. Come on, guys. Imagine, this is just the round 40 Moabs, so imagine what's going to be happening in like the 50s with a million Moabs, and then maybe when all these BFBs and ZOMGs start coming out to like max speed or something. Yeah, it's going to get insane. Okay, so here's the plan for this one. I think I'm just going to keep buying these guys, the Millipede Druids, but instead of upgrading one to the Jungler's Bounty, I think this is the better choice because the Jungler's Bounty ability is just not going to do anything. We're at 500% cooldowns, and honestly, these other bonuses like the extra damage, I don't think we care about that stuff. The main idea is to just hold these ceramics in place, but we do need to have them strong. So let's see if two of these guys are going to be enough, and then if they're not, we're going to do something else. But this is just round 43, so let's try and play it smart though. Instead of buying more druids, what if I get something like this, like a glue splatter glue, have it on strong. Eventually I want to get this thing to the glue hose, and I just want to slow these guys down by a little bit, just so we buy enough time. Is this the right choice? Please get it. Okay, so it looks to me that the goal is not actually to buy more druids, even though we're going to have to do it eventually, but it is to keep these guys in place and to slow them down. So the way that I want to do this is by buying a snowstorm and Arctic wind ice. So we're going to start like this, And I think I'm gonna get a glue as well. And so these guys just start like this. 012 glue. This is gonna become a glue hose. This is gonna become our Queen Ice. And this space here in the middle is going to be the freezing spot, basically, which is going to hopefully keep all of the ceramics in place. Well, we need to get the ice to the 3rd tier, by the way, because the freeze time is only 50%. Let me just watch. I'm kind of watching this spot, but I think that was actually because I only bought 1 druid. And I think that this is gonna be fine, right? Yes, there we go. So just needed to slow them down. That was the most important part. So I think I'm just gonna get the Arctic Wind Ice, and I hope that this is gonna be enough to hold these ceramics. I don't want to be buying any more druids, but someone get that one, and someone get, yes, I think we held all of them actually. Oh, and by the way, you guys remember how we used the Monkey Pirate's ability around 40? It just came off cooldown 8 rounds later. Yep, 8 rounds later it just came off cooldown. Yeah, these abilities are just not gonna work out for this run. So 48 in a second is going to be ending, and let me do this. We're going to need 1 more druid for sure on this one. Let me make sure I have it set on strong. I have everyone set on strong so they focus down the ceramics, and I think this is the time that we get the glue hose, honestly. So let's just make sure we deal with these guys. The ninja is probably not necessary anymore. It also cannot pop frozen blue, so I'm going to sell the ninja, and I think it's time for us to sell this thing. Let's actually turn off all the star. Let's see how we do on this round, and then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook the first mob around 50. There's 2 of them, so I'm gonna hook the first one, and I'm gonna sell this thing and merge a beast handler in the meantime. So did we defend 49? I think it, oh wait a minute, I'm kind of slow with this thing. Okay, so I'll just kind of be fast with this one. We're gonna need 3 of these guys, and I really do hope that this is gonna work out somehow. Oh my god, so there goes the max shark. Let's have it towards here, towards the side, and then is it going to be enough? And what's the pool cooldown on this thing, honestly? Because on some of these later rounds, yes, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Yes. So if we accidentally pop one of these mobs, it's gonna pop into 4 ceramics. And these 4 ceramics are, again, max HP, full speed. So what we need is 4 druids. And that's very important. So let me get the last one. This is gonna be druid number 4. We only have 3, by the way. So let me get druid number 4. This guy's not strong. And I think that now we might have a little bit of a breathing room. Yeah, so here's what I think the plan is for the BFB around 60. I think we get an Icicle Impale, and I think this is the, do we have it? This is the perfect spot for it. I might need to sell a farm. Let me just sell one of these farms. Let me buy it. But I think the Icicle Impale is going to be the perfect tower because this thing slows these guys. And wait, actually we got the Moab Hex. Let's just use that. Was that a mistake? Hopefully not. I don't think it is, but 61 is going to have a bunch of mobs. So, yeah, this one is going to be all on the shark. And so the Icicle Impale holds them in place. The shark keys them up. And yes, there we go. Finally. Okay. So the next problem is round 63, which has a bunch of ceramics. And we only have 4 druids. So if the Icicle Impale can hold these guys in place, let me just give it a little bit of pierce. If the Icicle Impale can hold them in place, then we're probably going to be fine on that round. The druids are going to need a lot of time to deal with them. But if they have the time, it's going to be fine. So let's just watch it. Oh my god, you can't even see them. These guys are super fast. And keep in mind, I'm playing on normal speed. So what you guys are seeing is normal speed. It's not fast forwarded 3 times. Let me just 3 times it just for a second. And let's see if you can... Yep, there was a second ceramic wave. Oh my god, these guys are super fast. And that was the 3rd one, so let's see if we have enough pierce on the ice. That's the most important thing. Yeah, there we go. I think it's fine. So as long as everything is frozen in place, which it seems to be, I think that it's just going to take a while, but eventually the druids are going to go through them, right? And the ice, yes, there we go. So this is the round I was concerned about. This is the round that I wanted to buy the Icicle Impale on. The shark's animation is just kind of slow. So if we didn't have this thing stopping them, it just wouldn't have been enough. I don't think so. But because it's stopping them, yeah, this thing is one-shotting them. And finally, we have stabilized, guys. After 65 rounds, I actually feel confident about the future rounds. You guys remember how we used the Moab Hex in round 60? It's round 65 and it still hasn't come off cooldown. That's just insane. So I guess this round is all going to be onto the, unless it comes off cooldown. If it comes, yeah, it did. I'm going to use it on this one. I'm just not even going to bother with the insides because that might cause a little bit of an issue. We've got 15 023 farms, by the way. They're not all 023. These guys are 203, which are the ones that we started with. But I wanted to get the bottom path, the marketplaces, because that's probably the better choice if you're kind of looking to get rid of them, or kind of, you know, you want to have money at your disposal, but you also want to be making some money. And so this is the path that you want to go for. And so I kept buying 0232s instead of upgrading anything else. But listen, it seems to be working out so far. So let me get, so what's the next one? I was actually thinking of what I want to get next. And again, we don't need an ability. Maybe we can get an ability just to kind of maybe help the BMA out, which is the next tower that we want to get. So I'm just going to have the BMA like this, which is, again, not on a cooldown. so it just evaporates balloons. And the BMA's golden potion is also affected by an overclock, so we need to get an overclock, but at the same time the overclock is an ability. So I don't know, do we get like 2 overclocks or 3 overclocks for this thing? Let's watch 77. 77 is gonna evaporate, isn't it? Let me just see. Oh my god, that was a lot of BFBs that got eaten up at once. And then this is gonna be the time in which things are gonna start to get a little bit more interesting, I feel like, which is gonna be free plays. So even though we have a couple of one-shots, we need to be getting more, because this is probably not gonna work out. So we're gonna need some help with these guys. If we just let this setup, is probably, actually, I don't think it's going to win. So I do want to be getting, oh, this isn't, actually, it wasn't in range of the camo village, so let me just buy it like this. Oh, I might have messed things up, actually. I wanted to save this space for something else, which is a millipede village. Do we need these farms? I don't think we need all of them, so let me just buy some stuff now that we need. So we're gonna need an overclock NG. So let's buy, no, we're not gonna need one. We're gonna need 2 of these guys, actually. So let me buy 2 overclocks, just in case. And then I think we also want to be saving some cash for Azili's level 20, because we're playing on medium mode, and the last time we did something similar to this, we played on impoppable. So the difference is that when you're playing on different game modes, heroes level up differently. So remember on that specific run, she got level 20 on round 100. And so, but that was impoppable. So that means that if we're playing on medium mode, then she's probably not gonna get around 20 like at all. Let me overclock this thing. So yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. These guys are just not handling things that well unless you help them out a little bit. So yeah, this is why I want to have an overclock. And then the question is, let me just see this overclock. Oh my god, look at this thing. I just used it, by the way. Do we get an Energizer sub? Like, it's not that much of a decrease of the cooldowns, but I feel like it's probably gonna be necessary, right? Let's just buy it. It's on 87. And I feel like I'm missing something. I wanted to buy something and I feel like I'm missing, but what was it? So we're gonna have DDTs in a second. Yes, I know exactly what it was. Yes. Okay, so let's just sell a couple of these farms. Also, we're probably not gonna need... Oh, did I mess up by selling the druids? We're gonna have one more round with a bunch of ceramics. And actually 95 with small balloons. Okay, I might have messed up, so I only sold one of them, but let's just chill for a second. We need to get the MIB basically, because this thing, unless you get the top hat, it cannot hit DDT. So it's gonna need an MIB village. That's the last thing that we need. And let's just watch these guys. So the trap is here. We have the trap, we have the BMA, and we have overclocks, which hopefully, I mean, I gave them a little bit of a cooldown reduction, but it's still at 500%. And hopefully this is going to be enough to beat the 90s. And we managed to keep 3 farms, so that's very nice. So we can buy Azili's level 20 eventually, but let's see how we do versus these DDTs. Oh my god, these guys are super fast. Yeah, they're just flying through. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Okay, so 91 is one of those rounds that I was kind of worried about, these small balloons. So we do still have this setup at the back, which is the ice and the glue slowing these guys down. And let me use the overclock just so we get the golden potion out as fast as possible. More DTs incoming, by the way. 93. Let's see how fast these guys are. Do we need to get something else for 95? Maybe like a Sabo? These guys are super fast. Let's get a Sabo for 95. Let's buy it now. I know it's 93, but let's buy it now, and hopefully the cooldown is going to come off. Oh my god, this thing is just insane. Okay, so I don't want to use this overclock because this one is not coming off, and maybe if I use it for this round, yeah, I think we chill on this one. I think that we're just gonna have to let these guys do their thing, because I do want to save the overclock for 95. Let's see how we do in 95. So let me use this thing now. Let me overclock the BMA. Did I get the tower? Yes, I did. And these ETs, they need to get stopped as soon as possible. So I'm gonna need the traps going off. The trap is helping. The Orca cannot, actually the Orca cannot hook, cannot pull DDTs. And it's because it's set on strong. No, we're leaking. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, so a little bit of an issue in this round, it seems like. The Orca cannot pull DDTs, and these guys, even though we have an overclocked BMA and we have the trap, but we have the Icicle Impale, it's still not enough. So we need to stun these guys, and here's what I was thinking. I think I'm gonna switch the Orca to first, because if it's set on strong, it just tries to pop the DDTs, but if it's on first, it's gonna pull a Moab, and that might help with the pierce of the Icicle Impale. That's one thing. Another thing is that I'm probably going to have to get rid of maybe this Druid, because I did want to make this Icicle Impale a little bit stronger, make it attack a little bit faster, maybe do a little bit more damage. That's the second thing. And the third one is that I'm probably just gonna do this, and I'm going to have something like this, and maybe even do I buy a second one, maybe like a 4-0, and we'll keep this guy on first. So one of them is on strong, one of them is on first. And so as soon as these guys come out, let's see if this is gonna make any difference. So overclock this guy, use this thing, the Sabo, as soon as possible. And this guy is, yes, he is getting buffed by the Alchemist. He's getting a lot more attack speed, and the Orca is actually pulling mods, which is exactly what I wanted to have happen. How is the overclock going? It's still going on it. Let's see if this is going to make any difference. I feel like the snipers are actually making some difference, especially the shrapnel one, because it has an AoE stun. And this thing is, oh my god, they're starting to pop. That's way too much damage. Is that going to be enough? How's the overclock doing? I don't want to use the other one. I don't want to use it. I think I'm just going to hold it and hope for the best. I think it's just normal balloons getting frozen, right? Is that it? Just these guys here in the middle? Okay, there we go. Finally, 95 is done. Very good. So we still have an overclock going. Let me just check the cooldown on the other one. The other one is like half. And we also need to not use Ezeli's Moab Hex, because if you guys remember that time when we used it at like 60 and it came off cooldown 65, so if we use it now, it's probably not even gonna come off cooldown for the bat around 100. So I'm actually not gonna touch the Moab Hex. I'm gonna set Ezeli to probably first. What is happening? How are we doing on this round? Oh my god, I farmed so much and these guys still seem to be struggling a little bit. What is happening? Oh no, these guys are they popping or what's happening? I think the Pierce is just getting overloaded, right? We leaked something. We have 400 lives, thankfully. Oh my god, what? There's gonna be another leak and a bunch more leaks. No, this is probably gonna be the end of us. Unless, I think I saw a trap getting dropped. Unless, 22 lives? No way, what is happening? It pulled it. It pulled it last second. Is that the last one? Yes, it is. 22 lives from 490, I think we have something like that. Oh my god, that's just insane. Okay, let me check his use level. It's level 18. It seems like the hardest and the most tense rounds are towards the end. So let's see how we do on this one. So we can pull these guys one by one. But I feel like because we're damaging them, because we're popping them, that's actually creating all the issue. We don't even have the Sabo, guys. It's around 95 that we used it on. It's going to be 99. We don't have it. That's just insane. But we do have an overclock for the BMA. And I think that this is going to be it for 99. Okay, so this is the... we need to buy a Ezeli. Let's buy it right now. So we have the Boy Hex around 100, but we need to deal with this one. So let me overclock this guy. How is it looking? I mean, if they get frozen in place, which they don't seem to be getting, some of them are slowly leaking, but if they get kept in place, we're going to be fine on this one. So let's just hope that this thing works out. We got the Sabo. Let me use it right now. I think this is going to be fine. This is going to be the last DDT, and it's just Moab, so just please take care of the Moab slowly. We have a trap. I'm collecting the trap. No, something's going to leak. The Druid! Look at this thing. It's keeping it. I think that's it. Oh my... No, hold it. I genuinely cannot believe what is happening on this run, especially on these last few rounds. This is insane. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one more shark merged up. So let me merge. Oh, that's not how you merge. Let's merge, I guess, this one. Just not mess it up. Let's just get this one. And now this shark, I wanted to just one-shot Moabs to help a little bit, because the problem that we seem to be having is a problem with the Pierce. I also should not forget to buy Ezeli's $5,000. That's all we have left, guys. We farmed so much, and it's $5,000. Let me just get the BMA overclock going. We can use both of them, by the way, because it doesn't matter. And honestly, I'm going to use the Sacrificial Totem. So let's use that. Let's get the Saba going, and hopefully this is going to be enough. I feel like it is this time, because we have the Shark just pulling Moabs, I feel like. Or is it? I hope it is. Yeah, there we go. The new Shark that we just bought, is that going to be enough? This time is so much better than last time. It's insane. You just make some small changes. And that's all it takes. But there we go. Round 100. This is just one button. This is the easiest one out of all of them. But man, these last few rounds were just something else. And that's going to be it. The Moab Hex is going to take down the bat. It's not going to release anything. Is it going to take out? Yes, there we go. I was starting to get worried for a second. There we go. BMA at 21 million and the Orca... It's at 4. I think it's respectable, because the only thing that this was popping was like Moabs and BFBs, because it can't pop anything else. It's a million on the ice, and Ezeli should have... she has like 1.9. It's almost 2 million. But a lot of that was the last Moab, which has like the bad around 100, which I think it has like 600,000 HP or something like that. But everything else was just, yeah, it was just taken care of. Oh, and this guy, the Trap, with 3 million pops. This was a very fun run, and this was an amazing, amazing thing that I did. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because this was a very fun run, and I enjoyed it a lot. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching it, and I'll see you all in the next one.